So in this video tonight, you've tuned in because I'm out wild camping in Storm Eunice. Yes, it's a storm that's sweeping across the UK. For me, this is a calculated camp. I'm not going to camp on the summits. I'm going to camp significantly below that, but I guarantee it's absolutely an exposed site because I've had tents destroyed in the very location on a few occasions before. What tent am I going to use? You'll see in a moment. How am I going to rig and set that tent up? Yeah, you'll see that as well. How windy is it going to be? I'm going to measure it hopefully, and will there be snow? All of those things will be revealed very shortly, so stay tuned to find out. So my tent of choice tonight is my Hilleberg Soulo Black Label. And the Black Label is simply Hilleberg's strongest range of tents. I might as well come out tonight in my strongest one. Why is it so strong? It has 10mm poles. Now there's no other one person tent on the market that has 10mm poles. That's the thickness of the poles. And it has 3 of them supporting that structure. It also has incredibly strong, fabrics and guy lines. So now what I'll do is I'll just show you some of the different things that I've done to secure the tent ready for tonight. The guy lines here, these would be the 2 standard guy lines, and I've actually added in 2 extra guy lines. All the pegs are actually double pegged where I expect the wind to come from. So maybe a little bit difficult to see here, but peg here and peg here. So this peg here is backed up by another one, and that's done on all the pegging points where the guy lines are attached. So really just sitting here in the calm before the storm. Be really interesting to see just how windy it gets. Also, I feel it's quite cold here at the moment, so that's a good sign. I'm really hoping that, I know there's a massive dump of something going to start from about 12 o'clock tonight. Out on the summits it'll definitely be snow. It'd be great if it was snow down here, but we'll just have to wait and see. Tonight, I'm afraid, on the noodles again. So this guy here is a naked Singapore curry. So these guys are pretty good. I've had them before, and of course the soba noodles for later on, as you've seen in my last camp. So just talking a bit about my camping location tonight. It's a big flat area. The wind will start off, it's going to come and hit this end of the tent, which is a slightly wider end of the tent, and that's the wind coming kind of from the southwest, and then it's going to swing around to the north, which is going to hit the tent at the bottom. But that's when it's going to get really big winds, so that's why I have the narrow end of the tent and the most aerodynamic part of the tent facing towards those winds. The other issue here is that the winds will get sucked right up the valley, and they can also hit the mountains here and then bounce back at you, so you can really get winds at all directions. So let's just wait and see. I may not film a massive amount more until the sort of weather starts to kick off, but then I'll maybe be filming at night for a little bit, and then obviously in the morning we'll just see what it brings. Alright, as you can see and hear, there's absolutely no wind at all. There's some little gusts earlier on, but it's now completely died down. But I'm still quite convinced that it will be very windy. So do you know what? I'm just going to try and get some sleep now when it's nice and peaceful and quiet. I've been around the tent and just give it a double check, with all the guy lines, and make sure they're all nice and tight. And then when it gets windy, I'll get out and do that again. So hopefully the next shots that you're going to see, there's going to be something happening. Okay, so see you shortly. Here we go. So here we go. This is part of what you've been watching for. It's been lashing sort of rain and sleet now for the last hour, and pretty high winds as well. Nothing spectacular, but enough actually to keep me awake. So I'm going to try earplugs in a couple of moments, see if I can get to sleep, because I'm pretty confident in the tent. These Hilleberg tents are amazing, but like everything, there's always maybe something that could be a little bit better. And I'll show it to you just in a moment, but just up to my right here, there's a bit of dampness sort of coming through. Now, that was a wind gust just knocked the torch or the light over. So excuse me just a moment to get it set up again. Okay, yeah, so there's a wee bit of the vent where the zippers meet in the vent. They just don't completely seal. Do you know what? Stop this from happening. I'm actually just going to hold the torch from my hand because the wind just keeps blowing over. So just give me a second to get it angled. Okay, yeah, so the sort of vent up here, there's a bit of water coming through it at the moment. I have wiped it down, so it's definitely not condensation. So it's just keeping managing that. Hopefully when the wind direction swings around from the bottom of the tent then, that'll just be a bit easier. But I'm going to knock off now, and sure, when it gets a bit windier than this, we'll get the camera running again, let you see what it's like. So here we are in the morning. I slept right through. There was nothing else really much to film last night. After the bits that I filmed, the wind kind of died down, and I always sleep in the down jacket in my sleeping bag, and I just got way too warm, and there was just nothing worth filming. And as I said, I just slept right through to 7:30 this morning. So look, I just thought I'd do a bit more filming whenever the snow is off and the wind has died down. There still is a potential later on. The wind is to swing around. This direction here is kind of the south. It's still to swing around from the north, and the temperatures are to drop even though it's daylight. And around 10 or 11 o'clock, there still is a possibility that we could get some more snow and higher winds. So I'm sort of thinking I'll maybe get back in the tent, see if I can sleep a bit more, and I'll hang on as long as I can. Simply to try and bring you a bit more action in this video. So I'm afraid that is about it for this video. I apologise that I didn't deliver and the weather didn't deliver, but that's the weather forecast for you. Like I said to begin with, I'm just not prepared at the moment to go on the summits in these types of conditions. I know some do and are quite capable of doing that, and that's fine, but just personally for me, I'm not. So it didn't really work out. I've hung around now, it's like 10:15 in the morning, and all this snow that's been promised again just hasn't materialised. So I'm going to pretty much, you can see there, I've got my packing all pretty much ready to go. So I'm ready to go, and in 10-15 minutes I'll be out of here, and that's obviously the end of the video. So look, I do appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for doing that. My next video, I hope I've got another really cracker tent lined up to review, and it'll be a proper field test review. That is me out in the hills actually reviewing it. So stay tuned and look forward, and hopefully you can look forward to that. So until next time then.